time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure, so let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Buck Baits,
Better the Hunt,
Rebel 6 Rubs and Seasonings,
Easy Cut,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Sunrise Archery,
Total Peep,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Packer Max,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Scent Blocker,
Scent Lock,
Copper John,
and Stanislawski Release Aids. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. Host Mike Ad. We're sitting in the cabin tonight on what's been a rather warm week here in Michigan with the fall.
Rather warm.
You think?
I was up 2 weeks ago in 4 inches of snow, and today we're in shorts.
It's been crazy, man.
I tell you what, it's Michigan at its finest, and as you can see, we're wearing our It's What We Do, Better the Hunt t-shirts.
Yep.
We were going to be wearing hoodies, but I think it's a little warm to be wearing hoodies.
Just a little bit.
But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And should we get to our supporters?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right, let's get to our supporters, because you know what, folks? It's getting to be about that time where, you just wonder, what you can do for Christmas, or on a warm day like today, you can still cook out. So why not get over to Rebel 6 Rubs and get 20% off your order when you use the promo code North Journal on checkout? That would be awesome. And you know what? It's not too late. We got rifle season here in Michigan getting ready to kick off a week from today.
That's right.
But you can still get a hold of sense to make sense out of your hunting at buckbaits.com, and you can get 20% off your order over there when you check out using the promo code UpNorthJournal. But your day would not start off any better than using Hunter's Blend Coffee. And if you use the promo code underneath Mike's finger if you're watching the show, or capital UNJ on checkout, you'll get 10% off your order.
How about that?
I think that's awesome. And you know what?
Tonight, we just lost ourselves here. Hang on just a second.
What do you mean you lost yourselves?
I'm hitting the wrong buttons tonight, man. I'm all
there you go. We're back. Woo! Ron Moses hunted in shorts. Ron, yes, you did. I saw that. Were you able to locate your deer? Deerless. Okay, driving home deerless. All right. I saw that live. I saw you live last night checking in. You were on a blood trail. So, okay.
I hate that, man. I tell you,
know.
it's the worst. I feel bad for people that do that. I have to put up with that too,
Mark Coleman, how's it going? Dan Newmer, good evening. Tammy Delk, she's on her way home right now from up north. Terry, yes, we are up and running. Ron Moses, like I said, is driving home deerless.
Santa needs to bring coffee, it looks like, for somebody.
All right, does are hot. That's good to know.
Don't booger this up. Nice.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Austin.
I've been boogering stuff up already tonight, believe me. So
right. So Ray Steer, good evening. It's way too warm out. You are not kidding there, buddy. And right, Ron, hunting in shorts today? Wait a week. You know what's going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's warm weather. We don't need them right now, but something that will keep us warm during hunting season, Danny, is
nothing better than Better the Hunt and having Randy Stoppenhagen on board to talk about his mitts that here in Michigan or out in Idaho that we're going to be needing to have on our bow, our crossbow, our shotgun, our rifle, or just having the utility meat to keep our hands warm. Randy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, welcome in tonight. How's it out in Idaho? What's the temperature?
It's snowing, and it's coming your way.
Wow, snow. Yeah. Who would have thought, Danny?
Okay, so you've got the snow. Yeah. Iowa is telling us that he's in shorts, so it hasn't made it to Iowa yet. So we're supposed to get it Tuesday. It's supposed to be our weather change, and we're heading up to the UP on Wednesday. So,
Charles, it's coming.
Yes.
Yep. It's definitely it doesn't look like it's super fast moving. So woke up this morning to a good dusting across the yard, and then being a high desert, it all melted, and then it's spitting snow again, and it's definitely colder than it was last week. So. It's coming your way. Enjoy it.
Oh, thanks for sending it our way. And Mark Coleman says he loves how you introduce your videos. Hello, everybody. This is Randy.
Oh, thanks.
See?
Well, I think they should know who I am. So yeah. Hey, everybody. This is Randy with Better the Hunt.
There you go. And Ray Steer says he had his mitt on this morning, and it was 40 degrees. So, you know what? How about we start talking about you and Better Than... How's everything going for the year so far with all this COVID wonderful stuff we've been having for this year? How are you doing? How's the company doing? What's happening with you?
Actually, we're doing really well. I think with the COVID situation, people that, like myself, that were more hesitant about getting online, using their credit card, purchasing stuff, are now, that's a new option for them, and they're going to that. And we also now are doing, we've got a Google search engine that's working for us. So people type in cold weather hunting gear, they find us. So
nice.
Things are doing really well. First year for the release of the new line of mitts, but this will be the fourth year for the patented Bow Mitt. So
that is awesome. And we're going to talk about the fifth year next year a little bit. We're going to talk to you. We came up with a little discussion point that we talked about last week on the show, but we're going to talk to you about it. So we'll hold that off to the last segment. But we want to jump into what you got going on. And like somebody's, Ray here said that if you want, let's start with the Bow Mitt itself and tell us what is behind it. And I know I used mine when I was in the UP, and it was comfortable, and I loved it.
Well, like we've talked before, I'm predominantly a bow hunter. I bow hunt predominantly in Idaho because that's where I live. And actually next week I'm going up to Elk City for a bow hunt, and already they've got quite a bit of snow up there. For some reason, the middle of Idaho is the Antarctic. It's bitter cold. When I go back up for the bow season, which is December 5th through the 20th, it's usually minus 15, minus 20, minus 28, and that's where this was thought of. Sitting in a tree, waiting on the deer. Here comes the deer. You grab a minus 20 degree metal instrument, and you hope that deer gives you the opportunity sooner rather than later. I dealt with that. I deal with the deer that are migrating. It's one of the only herds in America that actually migrate. Those deer move 50 to 70 miles to the breaks of the Salmon River for the winter. So it's not uncommon for me to have 100 deer a day walking right under my tree stand. So grabbing that, waiting, nope, that's not the right one, put it back up, or waiting for them to pass and then putting it back up. I got tired of dealing with that. So I invented a mitt. It took us 2 years of testing. We went through 8 prototypes to make this mitt fit every bow, accommodate everybody's hand size, and the way they put their palm against the back of the riser, so that when you go to shoot, you're shooting with the same palm, no interference. Your arrow is going to fly just as true as it always does. What this does is it takes away all the worry of, did I grab my bow too early? The deer's hanging up. Should I hang my bow back up? Takes all that away so you can concentrate on while you're out there. Thousands of people are using them, and I'll tell you, everybody loves it. I've never had one returned. So to me, that's a testament. It took a lot of time and effort to design this. Being a bow hunter myself, I would never bring something to market that would hurt you. And I promise you, this will be a game changer when you're up in the tree and the moment comes.
Well, I tell you what, when I was in the UP 2 weeks ago, and I had mine on, and you're right, I was able to sit there I was in a ground blind, and I was just holding on to the bow. I had deer with me all the time, and it was really comfortable just to sit there. I did take a hand warmer. I put it up in the hand warmer pocket, and that way it kept my hand nice and warm.
Yeah, that hand warmer, for most people with normal circulation, the mitt is good to about 28, 25, 20 degrees. After that, you activate a hand warmer, put it in that finger pocket. It'll be toasty warm in there. And when you were holding your bow, did you just have it up against your shoulder, or was it in your lap?
I laid it across my lap so I could have my palm down on it, and that way I had it across my lap.
Did you notice you didn't have to keep a death grip? You could actually relax your hand, and the bow stayed right in your lap.
Yep, exactly. And I tell you what, we need to take a break.
Yeah, we've got a problem with the connection right now. Actually, we had somebody ask us what's the noise in the background. That's what we were trying to work on coming into the show tonight while we were late. We've got a bad connection with Skype tonight coming out of Idaho. So actually, you can see that the screen is frozen up on Randy there. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break. We're going to step outside. We're going to do a quick reconnect. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back, second segment of the show. I think we got our technical issues taken care of, hopefully. We'll continue along, and as you've also probably noticed, we don't have the double box graphic tonight. When I sat down to get ready for the show, and there's the audio back again. There's the interference. I don't understand it, folks.
I tell you what, does that not sound like a speedway?
It does. It sounds like NASCAR, so there's something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
We're wild.
Yeah, but we do have Randy moving.
We do got Randy moving. We're talking. We're actually on the first part of Better the Hunt. It's the Bow Mitt. And as before we went to break, you asked me about how I felt gripping the bow, or I wasn't gripping the bow. It was nice that I could relax my hand in there and not worry about anything. It was, and I had my hand warmer in there, and it was just, and it stayed on the bow, which was really nice.
You hearing it now?
You guys are fading in and out, in and out.
Okay, so we've got a bad connection.
Oh, now I can hear you really good, but Danny's like way off in the disc zone.
How am I sounding now?
Good.
Okay. So it's Skype and somebody. Well, we're having some descriptions of what's happened, from Bigfoot to aliens. You know, it's
2020.
Well, you know what?
It's 2020.
Oh man,
I agree. I'll go with you there, because this year has been just say the least.
Well, I think the last time we talked with you, Randy, back when COVID first started, that's what I was trying to explain. We don't have the double box graphic tonight because we were using triple boxes back then, because Danny and I were, quarantining, or staying, 6 feet away from each other. So, but this, I don't know what this is. There's just something that's sleeping through the Skype connection tonight, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is.
Randy, it's one of those things that we just deal with it and we go with it. And this mitt that you have for the bow comes in right and left-handed, correct?
Correct. It's if you get online, there's a right-handed shooter and a left-handed shooter, because we identify ourselves as a right-handed or a left-handed shooter. So if you're a right-handed shooter, you order a right-handed shooter's mitt. If you're left-handed, you order a left-handed shooter's mitt.
There you go. So either handed, you order which one you hand when you identify with it. And then, you know what? This doesn't take but 30 seconds to put on your bow. I think it takes you sometimes longer to unscrew your counterbalance stabilizer than it is to put this mitt on.
Right. But one thing, if let's say it's 30 degrees in the morning and then it warms up to 60 and you want to take the mitt off, you can install the mitt without using that grommet that your stabilizer goes through. You can bring the mitt around, make your same adjustments, you just bypass the stabilizer. That way, once it warms up, if you decide, hey, I want to take the mitt off, you can do that. But what I want to tell the listeners is the mitt, for a lot of people, has become a really good shooting aid. It actually guides your hand to the same spot every time, and they feel like their groups are tighter, because it's one less thing they're worrying about. They just put their hand in there, it goes to the same spot, crank it back, and let it go. So
it helps to build that repetition, muscle memory.
Right. And for myself, I shoot with the mitt all the time. Summer, it's 105 here, but I don't have my hand in all the time. I shoot 5 arrows, I go down and retrieve them, pick my bow back up. I'm just so used to shooting with it that last elk season, I had to take it off, and I went out for an evening hunt because it hadn't dried yet. I hand washed it. And I went out that evening, and I always crank it back and get a feel for it to loosen up a little bit. And the first thing I did was I looked at my hand. I'm like, is that where my hand goes? Is that? And so the mitt for me and for a lot of other people that use it, it takes away, is that where my hand's supposed to be? My feeling is, and I may be wrong, but I think we as bow hunters overthink things a lot. And I when I draw my bow back, I don't, because of the mitt, that's one less thing I worry about, because it just feels that's where it's supposed to be, and I let it go.
Well, that was going to be something I was going to ask you about. You kind of touched on it there, that bow hunters, we're a finicky bunch of people. We're always really super anal. I'll just go ahead and say it. We're really anal about what we put on our bow, what we don't put on our bow, and it's just, we're really finicky. And is putting something on, it's like when you put something on, this to me, at first glance, somebody's going to say, "Oh, this is kind of big and bulky," but I understand the purpose of it. But are you getting feedback with people who thought that and go, "Wow, this thing does not intrude or impede any way upon my grip or the way I shoot"? Like you're saying, are you getting feedback like that from people?
Yes, and we've actually improved the mitt because of the consumer feedback. The mitt used to be an inch longer in the back where the cup is.
Okay,
but customers looked at the mitt when I was doing shows, and they'd swing the mitt around and go, "Look, it's going to hit the string." And I'm like, okay, if you're at a full draw, that string is going to hit your coat sleeve before it ever gets to the mitt if you're that extended.
Right.
And so what we did, in order to just, we never had that issue, but in order to make the consumer feel more confident, we shortened the mitt up. Your cup of your coat still comes up against it to help seal it off, but you do want a little bit of air circulation. But the rest of it, people look at it and go, "Well, how come you didn't make the mitt smaller?" So what I usually do is I grab the bottom of the mitt and I squeeze it, and I'm like, "Well, how does that feel?" "Oh, no, it's very constricting." And I'm like, "Exactly. That's why the mitt is the size that it is, because I want your hand to be in there, feel comfortable, but not like you're being forced to put your hand in a different position." And with these straps, the top strap is there just for safety, to keep the mitt below the arrow shell. The other two straps are because some people shoot relaxed, like me. Some people put their pinky out here. Some people shoot side. Some people shoot open finger.
Right.
This mitt is adjustable for everybody's shooting style, because I didn't want the bow hunter to have to conform to the mitt. I wanted the mitt to conform to the bow hunter.
Exactly. And then basically it means one size fits all. And this will even accommodate youth hunters as well, correct?
Correct. There may be because a youth bow is a little bit smaller in the grip area of the bow where you place your palm, you may have to do a slight, like this bow right here. This stabilizer sits quite high by the grip of the bow. So I ran my mitt, the lowest strap, I ran underneath stabilizer. But now on other bows like Matthews, their stabilizer sits quite a bit lower. So then this part can come above. So the mitt is very user friendly. You can adjust it for yourself. All three straps come around the front, but I've seen some people, maybe they're a high risk, so they actually take, I don't necessarily recommend this, but I've seen where they take this top strap and they actually bring it around the back of this mitt to keep this part of the mitt also lower. So the instructions are on the website. You can go to betterthehunt.com. It's me talking to you, and I say, like I always do, "Hey, everybody, this is Randy with Better the Hunt. Let me show you how to put the mitt on." And I walk you through it, showing you how to put the stabilizer where the grommet is. But like I said, if you want it on, off, but the mitt is actually designed. I've had people use the mitt late season bear hunts because of the mosquitoes. It's actually a cover for your hand. So the versatility's there, the user friendliness is there, and I understand. I've heard it all from shows, and I've had customers come up and go, I think it's going to cause me a problem. And I'm like, "Well, is that your bow on your?" "Yep, that's my bow. I'm going to go shoot." And I'm like, "I'm going to give you a mitt. Let me put it on your bow. You go shoot one arrow." and then you come back and tell me, and they come back and they're like, how much are they? and because they're, I have a couple people now on my pro staff, and one of them, that's exactly what happened. Now he's a firm believer in it, and he's one of the gentlemen that swears that for whatever reason that mitt has tightened his grooves. There's also some people that I've gotten to know in the industry that actually have TV shows, and they say the same thing. Their groups are tighter. So, you know, I don't want to advertise that, but I do want people to know, to me, it is a shooting aid. It aids in keeping your hand warm. It aids in guiding your hand to the same spot every time. And I guarantee you, if you just give it a chance, you're going to love it, because it's going to make a difference when you're out there. It's one less thing you have to worry about.
And another thing that bow hunters tend to be really anal about, as Mike said, is how much does this thing weigh?
Actually, the Bow Mitt, I believe, weighs less than 6 ounces.
So you're adding less than 6 ounces ish onto your bow to help, in essence, help you with your shooting and keep your hand nice and warm. And
Absolutely.
if it's warm out, mosquitoes.
You're right.
Yeah.
And we got those in Michigan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. we don't have a lot of mosquitoes out here. That's a nice thing.
I tell you what, that's just wrong. You got to enjoy those bad boys. But anyways, that is one thing that what you talk about is the Bow Mitt itself. And like you said, you can go to your website and Better the Hunt and check it out. And just for our listeners that are listening tonight, or actually tonight, if you're listening onto the podcast the next couple of days, or you're going to be watching this on YouTube, Randy has graciously got a special offer for us tonight for Up North Journal fans. If you order any one of his mitts that we're going to talk about tonight, he's going to throw in...
This is a product that was invented by a good friend of mine, also from Idaho. And before I ever came up with my product, my daughter and I bought these, and I've used them ever since. This is the Pack Rat system. And to go into it real quickly, this is the clip. Now, I understand a lot of Eastern hunters maybe don't use a big day pack like we do out west, but this will still come in handy. If you use any type of day pack that has a shoulder strap, this is the quick clip. And what it does is the Velcro opens up and you put it around your shoulder strap up high on your pack. With this part facing inboard, with this clip or this bracket right here facing outboard. And what this does is any slinged weapon, crossbow, rifle, shotgun, your sling sits down inside of this groove. Then you take this part and you clip it over, and your gun is now secured to your shoulder. And then the other part of the system that comes with it, it's the rat tail. And what the rat tail does, out west, we use day packs or hunting packs that have a waist belt. Now, I understand back east you may not use that, but this can go over your belt loop, or if you have a belt on, you just unclip this like this, and you clip it around your belt. Then you pull on this to adjust the weight bearing for the rifle. So what this system does is it secures your weapon to your shoulder for when you're climbing over stuff or you're bending over, the rifle or whatever your weapon is stays on your shoulder. But this also takes the weight off. Now, for me, when I carry my bow in to where I'm going up in Elk City, my stabilizer goes through this, and that helps keep the bow from slapping around against my thigh as I'm walking in. The bow doesn't weigh that much compared to a gun. So anyway, this is a great system. So what I'm going to offer all the listeners is between now and Thursday, if you go to betterthehunt.com and order any mitt, whether it's a rifle mitt, shotgun mitt, crossbow mitt, the bow mitt, or the multi-mitt, which the multi-mitt is to be used with all the other mitts to keep your release hand warm, I'm going to send you a Pack Rat system to help you out in the woods. One less thing you have to worry about, your weapon constantly coming off your shoulder, absolutely free. And this is a $30 value. This is a great product. I've personally used it. I showed it for a couple years when I first went on the road. I'm telling you, the people that use this, this is another game changer. I believe in it 100%, so I want to offer it to your listeners only. That's the only way. And what they need to do is when they go to betterthehunt.com and you go through the ordering process, you're not going to see anything about it. So just put in under memo or in I think it's memo. Just put in Up North Journal, and this will be sent to you. I promise. So
there you go, folks. Tonight through Thursday only for Up North Journal listeners. Randy throwing in the rack pack system. And we just talked about the Bow Mitt. We haven't even gotten to the Crossbow Mitt here yet that I've got in my hands. That this little beauty right here is going to be going on my crossbow here in 3 days when I get up to camp. The weather's supposed to be changing. I'm going to be putting it on my crossbow here. Randy, the premise for the crossbow, as I see it here, when I have my hand on this one,
yep,
it's going to actually restrict me from going above my fingers above the safety.
Yep.
The rail.
Safety rail, thank you. And talk about that. Talk about the Crossbow Mitt. I got one in my hands.
It's got the same as the Bow Mitt. It's got 200 grams of Insulated. It's got a hanging hand warmer pocket up inside. This is where these mitts separate from the Bow Mitt. The Bow Mitt, where your fingers go in, that's where the hand warmer is. So the odds of that hand warmer falling out are slim to none. But on this mitt, I wanted to make sure that when you made that move to get your weapon up, that hand warmer didn't come out, fall to the ground, or hit your stand and spook the game that you've been waiting 6 or 8 hours to show up. It didn't screw up your hunt. So the mitt internally has the same moisture wicking properties that the Bow Mitt does, because some people's hands sweat more than others. And again, this mitt is going to keep your hand warm to about 25, 28, 20, depending on your circulation. After that, you activate a hand warmer. Let me take this off of here.
And look how easy that came off. And look how easy that is to put on. It comes with 2 pieces of Velcro strips. You put them up on the safety rail. You basically just take this. You put it up against there. The Velcro takes effect. And you're ready to go hunting with the mitt.
Yeah, and one thing, when you go to install your Velcro strips, just a word of advice, do it when your crossbow is in your house, it's at room temperature. The adhesive is really good on these, but it would help if you used it where the room temperature, so the crossbow was warm. It'll help with the adhesive, and you can even take a blow dryer or some type of heat source to get that adhesive to stick real well. But exactly, once you put these on, you trim away the access depending on the size of your finger guard, and then literally this mitt comes up because of these 2 side pieces. They go right up and fasten right to the crossbow. The exterior of the shell of the crossbow mitt and the rifle mitt and the shotgun mitt and the multi-mitt are 100% waterproof. The bow mitts are water resistant up until about 6-7 hours. After that, eventually moisture will start penetrating. But this mitt, unless you go swimming, this one's going to keep your hands dry as can be the whole time you're out there, no matter what the weather is doing.
Well, I don't plan on going swimming with my crossbow. It just doesn't seem right. But
weird things have happened.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there you go, folks. Whether you're using a regular bow or a crossbow, Randy has come up with a system for each one of those that basically is not adding practically, if you want to call 6 ounces a lot of weight or less to your crossbow or to your bow.
Well, and the crossbow mitt is actually lighter. The heaviest one is the rifle mitt, just because of the clip for the stability shooting. But
right.
I believe the crossbow mitt is actually the lightest. I think it comes in at just over 5 ounces. So.
There you go. So remember what Randy said. We're going to step outside here in just a second, but remember what Randy said just a few seconds ago. This week only till Thursday night, which is the 12th of November. If you order any one of his mitts, including the utility mitt, and you put in the note Up North Journal, he's going to throw in a free rack pack system, a $30 value. So let's step out. A pack rat, sorry.
That's okay.
Let's step out, and when we come back, we'll turn it over to the gun side of the mitt.
All right, we're going to take a step outside. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back. Third segment of the show. We're still sitting here talking to Randy Stoppenhagen about the bow mitt, the gun mitt, the crossbow mitt, the rifle mitt. We got lots of mitts, Randy. Where are we going next with this now?
The next one we're going to talk about is for the shotgun hunter.
Okay.
And the shotgun insulated mitt here. Now this one is probably going to weigh around where the crossbow mitt is, but this one comes with an area. It looks like you can put some shells in it as well.
Right. Exactly. Yep. 3 extra shells, because you're under the gun, you're shooting. All of a sudden you realize, oh no, I'm out. So instead of grabbing at your pocket, putting your gun down, you can now sit there and bring it down, grab, rack a couple more, pump. Now, the way I have this set up, the spandex on the top of the rib of this shotgun, I actually have it external. You can also unscrew the barrel stay, remove the barrel, put the mitt on, the forestock here, then put the barrel back on, and the barrel will ride on top of this spandex. It's a personal preference, whichever way you want to go. But when I bring this up and look down the barrel, because of the tightness right here, this spandex does not interfere with looking down and seeing the small bead at the end of this shotgun. So same thing, internal hanging hand warmer pocket, 100% waterproof. The whole concept of this line of mitts, we practice all summer with bare hands. And come the cooler weather, we start dressing more appropriately, but we end up telling our hands, sorry, or we have gloves on, and at the last second we're trying to rip gloves off, or we have our hands in a muff, or we have them in our pocket. And I don't know about you, but the first couple hours in the morning, the last couple hours at night, when you really want to be ready because you never know what's going to happen, I don't want my bow hanging. I don't want my gun rested against something. I want to be holding that.
Right.
Now, these mitts allow you to do that, and yet I've got the same bare hands against the gun like I practiced all summer. To me, it's a shooting aid that's going to make a difference when you're out there when the weather's a little tougher. So.
Absolutely. I know if you would have been around a bunch of years ago, that my brother would have gladly have enjoyed to have one of these on his shotgun. He knows exactly what I'm talking about what mittens do to a shotgun and what happens when you miss a very, very nice buck. So yeah, I'll just throw that out there to him as he's listening. So, but this but this insulated mitt, again, not adding a lot of weight to your gun, and obviously if you're going to add shells to it, it's going to add that much weight. But I think the most important thing is that insulated for me is seeing that I can put an extra hand warmer in there just so I can keep my hand, like you said, free, not in mittens or 3 pairs of gloves or whatever I'm wearing that day. But there again, and when you're hunting, if it's warm, this hand's it's gonna protect you from the skeeters.
Right, exactly. And, duck season, goose season, some places it's open, some places it's coming. Out west here, quail. I had a gentleman go on a pheasant hunt here recently in North Dakota. Made a huge difference. It was terrible weather up there, just awful cold. He had a lot of nice things to say about it. But this is, just so you know, this is the hanging hand warmer pocket. You can take and activate a hand warmer, put it inside that vented mesh pocket. You can sit there with your hand up inside, and you can actually reach over, massage your fingers against it, but it'll radiate that heat. Plus the fact that these aren't 100% sealed off, you need air in order to keep that hand warmer activated. So you need oxygen in order to keep it going. So a lot of thought, a lot of effort went into these. They'll fit almost every type of crossbow, shotgun, rifle. If you have any questions, you can contact us at betterthehunt.com. And I'm the secretary and the shipper and the receiver. And so you'll probably talk to me.
There you go. One-stop shopping. Talk to Randy.
There you go.
So, but anyways, that is awesome. And that covers up for the shotgun hunter, that whether you're in a shotgun only or you prefer to use a shotgun or whatever you want to do. Actually, it was brought up about turkey hunting as well. This would be awesome for turkey hunting.
Yep.
I tell you what, let's take a quick break. We come back, we will we'll wrap up the rest of the show. We'll cover the rest of the line here, and we'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back finally. Last part of the show, last segment. It has been a heck of a night, technically, so we're trying to finish up here. But Randy, thanks for hanging with us on this. This has been a tough one.
Hey, well, all the planning that you guys do and all the effort that goes into what you guys do to put this out here to inform the hunters out there. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, it's nothing you guys are doing. I've looked at everything, can't figure out. I mean, it's 2020, and we'll just deal with it. So.
Yeah, it's either that or it could be. I know I switched internet services about 5-6 months ago. When we first switched, we had issues with it, and it could be gremlins coming back. But I don't know. I think, Danny, when we go back to have an opportunity to go back to the old company or a different company, I think I'm going to switch.
Right?
So, wow.
So, we ready?
Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good.
we're on. We're
on. Because we were talking about the shotgun mitt, and my brother, I saw one last comment before we switched feeds to part 2 was he could have used the shotgun mitt.
Yeah.
But anyways, actually you got 2 more mitts to go, and this last one that I'm going to have on for sure next week is going to be the Rifle Mitt here. Now, okay, so the Rifle Mitt, I noticed right off the bat is something different about the top of it, where it goes around the barrel.
Yes, the top of the mitt has an EVA mold that keeps the top of the mitt going across the top of the barrel, slides underneath the scope. That way, when you put your hand in, if you need to move forward, you can move forward. If you need to move back, you can move back. And yet, it molds and forms to the rifle. And then, if you use a sling, you just undo your sling, slide the mitt on, put the sling back on. Quickly, you can get your hand in. Same thing, internal hanging hand warmer pocket, moisture wicking capabilities, 100% waterproof. And then this that you see hanging off the bottom of the
strap.
Rifle Mitt.
Yep.
This strap is an anchor point. Now, out west, it would be used quite a bit because you're usually taking a really long range shot. You're getting settled in. Maybe the gun's moving a little bit. You need to anchor it better. This goes around your bicep. And even if you're wearing a coat and you just cinch it down, then the longer part of the strap connects to the back of the mitt. And once you put your hand in and you bring the rifle to your shoulder, you pull on this strap that's connected to your bicep, and it sucks the gun into your shoulder to make a steadier, well-placed shot. So, and if you don't like it, you can just hit the quick release and you can eliminate the strap. But that's what it's there for. Or even teaching first-time shooters. Normally they don't have the stock tight into their shoulder, and what ends up happening, sometimes they scope themselves. This will help with that because it's helping to suck the gun into their shoulder so that hopefully they don't scope themselves. So
that's a great little feature to have, and like you said too, it makes that triangle, that body triangle when you're locking in to steady those shots up. That's a great little added feature of that thing.
Well, thank you.
And all these have great little nuanced features for each of them. Like the shotgun's got the places for extra shells. This one's got a place as well for 3 extra shells, plus the steady strap that comes with it. All of them got the added feature of able to put in a hand warmer in them. And like you said, except for the Bow Mitt, these are all waterproof.
Yes, they're 100% waterproof. There's a membrane between the exterior fabric and the interior fabric and the 200 grams of Insulated. It's also a wind blocking technology, so that I guarantee you your hand's going to be toasty warm. I mean, it's going to be warm.
Well, if you're right-handed or you're left-handed, that hand will be toasty warm while it's in the mitt. But wait, you've got another added mitt to keep the other hand warm while you're waiting.
Yeah, real quick, all the mitts that you've seen for the new mitts for the weapons come in earth brown and tactical black. Now, this is the multi-mitt. Bow hunters were like, great, you took care of my bow hand, but what are you going to do with my release hand? And I've been out when it's snowing, it's freezing rain, and I'm trying to protect my release because I've had my release freeze on me before. So we came up with the multi-mitt, and the multi-mitt has an elastic strap on the, I'm sorry, black against black, it's hard to see, but it's got a quick release clip on it. You put this around your belt loop, but for a bow hunter, you can still put it around your belt loop and have your hand in it, but you put your hand inside and your release is inside, protected from the elements. There's silicone gripping dots on here, so if you need to grab something, you can grab something. But when the moment comes and you need to get your hand out, you just work your hand out of the mitt, your release is there. Even if you're a thumb release or trigger release shooter, the mitt is off out of the way from your string, and you shoot, and then you rotate your hand back in. And we've shown these at several shows out west here, and I wish I would have had several hundred of them. Believe it or not, for sporting activities, women have looked at purchasing these, and they have for clip to their stroller. Because that way, if they need to get their hands out real quick to, something with the baby, they can rotate their hand right out. So that's why we call it the multi-mitt, because it has multi-purpose use. I mean, it's for hunting. That's what the original design was for. But even fishing vessels, they use them on the West Coast here on charter fishing along the rail. They clip them along the rail. That way, while they're waiting, the guys and gals can put their hands in there. Same thing. It's got a hanging internal hand warmer pocket. Same moisture wicking. Same waterproof. So this mitt will go with the other mitts as the final piece to the puzzle. So.
Yeah, it will. And I tell you what, now that you just explained all that with the stroller and the fisherman and really that is very you talk about multi, that yeah, you're not kidding. You can use this, like you said, while even fishing. That would be kind of cool.
If you're out in the middle of the river and you're fly fishing and you just want to take, it can be cold. You can clip this to your wader shoulder strap and you can rotate your hand right in and, work the pole. Instantly you can pull your hand out and it's still there. It's not floating down the river. It's not left on the side of the hill like your gloves are when you're ripping your gloves off to take a shot. Then you get home and you only have a left or right.
Right?
Because we all go there and it's like, oh, I know right where that is. It's right up next to some sagebrush up on the side of the hill. So this mitt serves many purposes. The ones that are out there are in use. People really like. So, and even if you don't want to put something on your rifle, you can get 2 multi-mitts, put them on your belt loop. There they are. Your hands are nice and warm, yet you can grab your weapon, bare hand, take the shot, set the gun down, put your hands back in the mitt. So
there you go.
I was thinking, you go to obviously a lot of us are not going to football games this year, but in this part of the season of whether it's college football, high school football playoffs, you're sitting outside, it's getting cold, maybe at a pro game, especially in the playoffs. Get 2 of these things. You can use these for your hand warmers to sit at the game. Wouldn't that be great?
Right. Yeah, because then you need to clap. You can rotate your hands out. They can hear you clapping, and then you put your hands back in.
I'll just use the mitts to clap. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So It seems like there's so many different uses for these things that we probably just haven't even thought of yet.
Well, we're working on it. We've got some other stuff coming down the pike, but I want to make sure these get out. We have a decent supply left. Because of COVID, when I put my order in last fall, they're getting all the stuff. Well, then when COVID hit, trying to find Insulated was a nightmare. Trying to find because we use a extra strong military thread. We actually use an elastic thread on the shotgun mitt. So trying to find all those components to get my order put together was a nightmare. So I was able to get a limited run on some of everything, but this year, because of COVID and everything else, once they're gone, that's it till probably next fall. So Once these are gone, they're gone. So
yep, exactly. So I tell you what, Randy, it has been great to have you on the show. For everybody that's out there, remember to get to Better the Hunt PSEarchery.com to check out your mitts, whether you want a bow mitt, a crossbow mitt, a shotgun, a rifle, or a multi-mitt. Get over there, check it out, and see what's happening. And don't forget, if you order by Thursday, he's going to throw in a pack rat system, a $30 value for free. Just go in, when you order, go in there in the memo or comment section and type in Up North Journal.
Yep, exactly. And that system will work for anything you sling. This system will work, and it's 100% free to you for being a listener. So.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure having you on. Sorry for all the technical problems we've had tonight, but for those people out there listening to the show, watching the show, I want to tell you guys, make sure you go over to their website, go to their social media pages, give them a like, follow, and share, and we ask you to do the same for us here as well. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties tonight, and we apologize for that. We'll get those cleaned up. If you're enjoying what you're hearing from us, share the show for us as well, and go over to iTunes and give us a review over there, please. So that'll do it. Don't forget the special offer, the Up North Journal offer, over at betterthehunt.com. Mention Up North Journal and get that free pack rat addition to your order. So y'all take care, and we see y'all again next week. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Buck Bait,
Better the Hunt,
Rebel 6 Rubs and Seasonings,
Easy Cut,
Lim Walker Game Calls,
Sunrise Archery,
Total Peep,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Packer Max,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Scent Blocker,
Scent Lock,
Copper John,
and Stanislawski Release Aids.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.